What's up guys, it's me, Lego Paradise here, and today I'm going to show you how to build a working Lego light switch. This is a really simple but very effective design that you can use to control your lights inside of your Lego homes. So at the moment we've got a chandelier hanging in the ceiling of this room, and that's a really cool, very fancy design that goes great for more classic style houses. But of course that can also be swapped out for a more traditional style of light bulb, which goes great in more modern style homes and buildings, and that also produces this really cool spotlight effect. And something like this is better if you're going for a more simple or modern type of room. Or alternatively, if you want something really unique, you can go for a completely different style of light and colour, such as this very funky and unusual red light, which even includes this really cool pattern and also produces a similar spotlight effect. There's so many ways you can customize this design, and this Lego light switch works flawlessly with any of them. So let's get started and take a look at how to build it. Here are all the pieces you'll need to build your working Lego light bulb, as well as these transparent pieces at the bottom to build the chandelier. Or if you want to go for the other types of lights, they just use a single piece each, so a transparent minifigure head for the simple light bulb, and the top half of a rock piece in transparent orange for the funky light. You'll also need a room to build your working light switch into, which includes a 3 stud wide space in the wall where the light switch can be installed, as well as a ceiling to install your light into, and this will need at least one hole in the middle for the light to shine out of, and that can be made out of a Lego Technic plate. So once you've got all your pieces, let's get started by first building the light switch. So this will use two 2x3 bricks, like that, with a 1x2 panel over on the top, a 1x1 plate next to that, and a 1x1 Technic brick on top of the plate. Then clip a friction Technic pin through that piece. And for the actual light switch, the bit you flick to turn the light on and off, they'll use this slope piece and a 1x4 Technic brick. And that can simply slide over the top of this pin, and you'll see that this panel actually covers up the bottom part, which makes it look a whole lot more neater. Then over on the other side, just build that up with 2 1x1 bricks, just like that. And the other side can use a simple assembly, which will use a 1x1 plate underneath a 1x2 plate with another 1x1 over on the top. And that fits neatly on the opposite side, so that should be almost complete. All that's left to do for this part is to place 2 1x3 bricks over on the top, and that is your little light switch assembly completed that you will be able to install into your walls of your house. Then the second part of the mechanism will vary depending on the size of the room that you want to install this light switch into, but for my 10x10 room design that you saw at the start, this is exactly what you'll need. So a 1x9 Technic lift arm with a frictionless pin in the bottom and a 1x3 pin over at the top, and then 2 of these L-shape lift arms. So clip one just like that, attach a couple of friction Technic pins through the other side, and from here you can attach a second L-shape lift arm over there. And like I said, you might need to play around with the spacing and the length of each of these elements depending on the size of your room, but this should still be the same basic shape as I'm using. And finished off with a frictionless pin and this Technic part over on the end. And you also want to attach this light brick into one of these brackets with the hole in the middle that will allow the light to shine through, and that will allow it to get automatically pressed down and switch on and off. Then finally, if you want to build a chandelier, just use a 4x4 round plate with a matching 4x4 dish piece over the top, and you'll see how this has a solid stud, and that will actually provide a really cool fibre optic effect for this chandelier. So just clip a diamond piece in the middle for some decoration. And then these pieces, these are those weird transparent parts you get in the Lego collectible minifigures. mainly the superhero minifigures series, and basically clip them facing inwards in pairs inside the chandelier, and this makes it look like the chandelier is actually made of lots of these intricate glass details which hang down and dangle from the bottom of the chandelier. And like I said, because of the design of this Lego chandelier, this actually works really well with this light brick. It provides a really unusual and very bright fibre optic effect where the light will actually come out of the ends of these pieces, because the light is basically spread from the top of the stud and travels all the way out to the ends of these parts. So let's see how to do that. So for this we'll need the room that we got at the start, and the light switch, and like you can see, this neatly fits into a 1x3 space inside of the wall, so that's nice and neat and easy to switch on and off. And then you can also install a ceiling. Again, make sure that's got a hole in the top for the actual light to shine out of, so make sure that's clipped down just like this. There you go, that's looking a bit more like a room. And with this we can actually attach our light brick over on the top, so I'm just pushing that down so that the ceiling doesn't fall in. But obviously you can reinforce this if this isn't an actual structure, and you'll see that by itself the light brick presses down. Nothing too fancy there, but here's where the functional part comes in, using this mechanism that we've built. So basically the top half clips onto the light brick like this, and the second half clips onto this 1x4 Technic brick just in the middle there. That's all in place, that's looking good, and now when we press up on the light switch, that will in turn push down on the light and create the working light switch effect. And you'll see that that actually stays in place with the help of this friction pin, so you can move it around, it will still stay switched on. And for the best effect, you can install some sort of light, such as the chandelier. And now that same mechanism will work perfectly and provides a much softer and more realistic light, which is really great. And you can see it's got that fibre optic effect that I was talking about, where the light just pokes out of the tips of these glass bits on the chandelier. So that looks really fantastic, and it's a really cool and very simple mechanism that works really well. And one more thing, if you want to build this into a house, obviously this does take up a bit of space in the ceiling, but all you can do is you can easily build this into some sort of angled roof, and that way this mechanism will be nice and concealed. So I hope you enjoyed building your working Lego light switch, and if you did, then don't forget to give this video a like, let me know what you think of this design in the comments, and subscribe to my channel for more Lego creations. I've got a whole playlist of working minifigure scale mechanisms and builds, just like this working light switch, which are all really great functional additions to your Lego houses and cities. And that playlist will be linked in the description below. A big thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon for helping to make my videos possible, and you too can support me on Patreon to get access to exclusive bonus videos, behind the scenes content and other Lego tips and tricks, as well as your name here in the credits. I'd really appreciate your support, and the link to join me on Patreon will be in the description below. I'll see you guys next time with more Lego creations, and thanks for watching.